What up, YouTube kids? Primary back at you with another video. And this time I'm doing more actual reviews instead of just stupid unboxings. I mean, I've done so many of them over the past few weeks. And I'm not done yet, actually. I have a loot crate coming next week. That's right, my very first and probably so far my only loot crate. But you guys have been hounding me nonstop, asking me, will you please do more reviews? So I figure I will. And I figure I go back and review a few things I wasn't happy with my original take on, so let's get into those. As many of you guys know, in a few weeks, we will be seeing the release of the next Terminator movie, Terminator Genisys. And as many of you will know, I have some of the other Terminator movies. I thought I'd go ahead and reshoot my old reviews because I was really unhappy with the original ones. So let's start off with the earliest that I own, as well as my personal favorite of the series, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. This was my first Terminator movie that I've ever seen, and this one also serves as my personal favorite. This is I believe it's called the Extreme Edition. I think that's what this is called, this particular version of the movie. I used to have a slipcover for this version that had like a kind of a copperish color and had the endoskeleton on the front of it, but something happened to it. Got damaged over time, so I got rid of it. But Terminator 2 was, even though it's not the original, it lays claim to be one of the most famous. Of all the sequels, this one's the best. Done in I want to say 90, does it say on here? 91, that's what I thought it was. A few years after, about 10 years after the events of the original. Kyle Reese has been destroyed, and Sarah Connor, even though she was successful in killing the Terminator, apparently she destroyed it by blowing up a computer factory, and since Kyle Reese was gone, she had no one to testify the statement, so she ends up locked up in a mental asylum, better known as Pescadero Mental Hospital. So John Connor, who has officially been born and is now 10 years old, basically gets visited by another version of the T-800 Terminator, programmed by Cyberdyne Systems, but instead of being sent back to kill him, this time it's been rewritten by John Connor to protect him from another Terminator that was sent back by Skynet. And basically, it's a clash of the titans between these two Terminators, as one of them is trying to protect John Connor, as well as prevent Judgment Day from happening, while the other is trying to kill John Connor. So here is the artwork. As you see, it says there, Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. And you have a picture there of Arnold as the T-800. Extreme DVD. You will notice this little bit of stuff here on the top. That's my fault. That's adhesive from the security sticker. I, for the life of me, cannot get that off, no matter how hard I try. On the spine, it says Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I have another picture. You will notice the plastic is kind of warped. I don't know what the hell. I think that was the adhesive, the sticker that caused that. That's my fault. On the back there, T2 Extreme DVD. He said he'd be back. This time, experience T2 like never before. Go extreme with the best picture and sound ever. Digitally restored and supervised by THX. Optimized for DVD presentation. And that THX sound. The creepiest sound of my childhood. Anyway, on the back of it, you also have another picture there of Arnold as the T-800. I believe this is during the part where he gets off the elevator at Pescadero when they're breaking out Sarah Connor. This one has a special edition version containing 16 minutes of additional scenes never seen in theaters, digitally mastered from a brand new 1080p 24SF high definition digital tech transfer for superior video and audio quality. And it's just the film on the first disc. The second disc has No Fear But What We Make, an all-new documentary on the role of T2 and the evolution of digital effects and modern filmmaking, featuring new interviews with prominent filmmakers and visual effects artists. T2 on set. Exclusive new retrospective montage of the life on the set of the greatest action movie ever made, featuring rare production footage. T2 High Definition, the complete theatrical version of the film in Microsoft Windows Media 9 series, playable in high resolution and 5.1 surround sound directly from your PC. Infiltration Unit Simulator and T2 FX Studio. Morph your imported images into a T-1000 or T-800 Terminator. Skynet Combat Chassis Designer. Construct and field test your own ultimate fighting machine. Track your progress online. Because even though it says Windows, it's still compatible on a Mac. I would know, because I've watched this movie on my Mac a couple times and it works just fine. This version came out this movie came out in 1991. Runs for 152 minutes and is rated R for strong sci-fi action, violence, and language. Made by Artisan. Open it up. The first disc has Arnold there as the T-800 with T2 Extreme DVD. And disc 2, same thing, but with the, I can get it to show on camera, the endoskeleton. And also, you will notice this little kind of crack in the, on camera. You will notice this little crack here. That's my fault. I don't know how that happened, but it broke somehow. I bought this a long time ago. I bought this back in 09 with Rise of the Machines coming a few months later. And like I said before, of all Terminator movies, this one's my personal favorite out of all of them. Out of this one, the original, Salvation, and Rise of the Machines, this one's my favorite because I don't know what it is, but the story, the action, the way it was filmed, this one just has that kind of a drive that really makes it a great movie. And I freaking love it. It's my favorite of all the Terminator movies thus far. And I'm really hoping that Genisys is good. And I would recommend this movie. Even if you're not a Terminator fan of the franchise, I would still recommend you see this movie. So I guess that's about it. Later, guys. I am out of here.